Just as I was finishing the Tales from the Darkside series, all 4 seasons, where I covered every single episode, I realized on the DVD, on the very last disc, there's special features. And when you click on that special features, it shows you 2 bonus episodes, Akhbars Daughter and Attic Suite, and after doing some deep research, I found that these were supposed to go to a spin-off of Tales from the Darkside. In fact, there is a IMDb for Akhbars Daughter, and it's titled Night Rose, and then Akhbars Daughter. So it seems like this is supposed to be an anthology series after Tales from the Darkside ended called Night Rose. These apparently 2 episodes didn't get picked up, and the Laurel Company went on to make Monsters, a much more straightforward and easy to understand series. I mean, what the hell is a Night Rose? Monsters? It's easy. There's a monster in every single episode. Even the ones that are a little bit goofy, you're at least going to see some special effects and monsters. And I think Akhbars Daughter is the better episode compared to Attic Suite, which is written by Michael McDowell. And you can see what they're going for in this episode. Here, while it looks a lot like a Tales from the Darkside episode, it's a lot sexier. They're going for the Skinamax crowd, and this revolves around love and betrayal. Main character Bitterman, that's his name, Bitterman, who's a businessman that falls in, we'll say, lust with Kara Akhbar, the forbidden fruit, if you will, a very attractive young daughter of a wealthy client that he's staying with. He knows he should say no, and that if her father found out, he's gonna give him the beating, but he just can't resist, and she's beckoning him in. And we actually get a fair amount of PG-13 love scenes here, with the silhouettes making love in the background, and the shades drawn with blue tint. And so Bitterman's staying with this millionaire client in Morocco. He's in a foreign country and he's trying to bang his daughter. This is going to end badly. And they do a good twist on this one, feeling very Tales from the Crypt. He does make love to who he thinks is Akhbar's daughter several times. However, he learns later on that actually his client Akhbar has 2 daughters. And Bitterman is throwing the old bait and switch. He thinks he's sleeping with Kara, but he's really sleeping with someone else. And this twist comes at the end. And there's a bit too much lovemaking in this episode. It seems to, in the middle, just run into a bit of a standstill. So he's pursuing this guy's daughter. He knows that he shouldn't. But then it just stays there. You just see sex scenes for 5 minutes. They're trying to differentiate themselves from Tales from the Darkside with edgier content. It's better shot, it's better lit, and you can actually get a foreign location, and the sets don't look as cheap. So they're trying their best on this debut episode. And there is a good script here. This is written by John Harrison and also directed by John Harrison, who recently just directed 8 episodes of the Creepshow TV series on Shudder, which we'll be covering. Yet finding those episodes is a pain. They were on Amazon and they took them off, and I might just have to buy them. And John Harrison directed 8 episodes of Tales from the Darkside, like Baker's does in A Red Leader. But this one is missing a bit of horror. It's intriguing. They're trying to turn up the sexiness. And at the end, we learn that the daughter that he has been sleeping with has leprosy. I don't exactly know how that works because her face is like peeling off. I don't know why he wouldn't notice that. Also, I don't think that's the way leprosy works. I think it would have been better if the daughter had the obligatory curse or was a ghost or something. They're trying to keep it more grounded, like she has a real life disease. But that's not the way it works. Your face doesn't just randomly fall off when you touch it when you have leprosy. But then when you're sleeping with her face isn't falling off. It's a slow degradation over time. So I think I'm going to give Akhbar's Daughter a 6 out of 10. This is on the Tales from the Darkside sliding scale. Like if there was a Tales from the Darkside episode, it would stick out as being a little better than average, having a more high class and elegant feel. And we see in the beginning intro, you don't get the Tales from the Darkside intro, you get the Night Rose intro, which is completely unfinished. You have a bunch of window panes flying at you with scenes from the episode that you're about to watch, like trying to allude to something like Night Gallery. But if you notice, the background is completely black. And when I first saw this, I was like, that has to be a mistake. They haven't finished this. And surely enough, the next episode, Attic Suite, actually has a background. So this intro is completely not finished. The episode is finished, but Night Rose did not get picked up. And it seems with the 2 episodes that are presented here, it would have been about the same quality as Tales of the Darkside, with not a real identity that Monsters would give it. Monsters having a monster in every single episode, more of what you're about to get, and is able to focus more on horror. This one is a sexy Skinamax thriller, and then the next one, Attic Suite, is a plain Jane story about a couple that wants their upstairs neighbor to die. Even in the second episode, it doesn't continue the Skinamax feel, so I think it's better we got monsters rather than Night Rose. But these are two curiosities, and I'm glad they included them on the Tales from the Darkside DVD, because the only other special features you get is a featurette with George A. Romero and an audio commentary by George A. Romero. So a nice curiosity. This shows that they were trying to do something a bit different, at least in this episode, until going back to the comfort zone of boring episodes with the next one. But we'll be covering that one tomorrow. Attic Suite, written by my favorite writer, Michael McDowell, but this is his D-list scripts. He's phoning this one in. I think he probably just threw something that was like a first draft. Here you go, make this into an episode. I don't know, I haven't finished it. Because Attic Suite feels nothing like a Michael McDowell episode. Bitterman was played by Christopher Atkins, who's most known for being the 1980 movie Blue Lagoon with Brooke Shields, a movie I haven't seen, but very, very controversial, because it has one of the most brain-dead casting decisions ever. As we see here, Christopher Atkins was born in '61, so he was 19 when the movie came out. Brooke Shields was 15, so they decided to cast a love sex story with a 15-year-old and a 19-year-old. Genius decision, Blue Lagoon. Who's the casting director, Epstein? But he doesn't find enough job in Akhbars Daughter. I actually did find one review. This person gave it an 8 out of 10. Sometimes the hound becomes the fox. That's a reference to what Akhbars Daughter would keep saying to Mr. Bitterman. Cocky and amoral womanizing businessman Bitterman becomes smitten with Kara Akhbar, who's the gorgeous daughter of his latest wealthy client, Mr. Akhbar. However, Kira apparently has a dual personality. She's cold and aloof by day, but very open and passionate come nightfall. Writer-director John Harrison keeps the engrossing story moving along at a quick pace and ably crafts an intriguing, mysterious atmosphere that's also brimming with sizzling sexual tension between Atkins and Magnet. This one's written by Woody Honors. It always seems like it's written by ChatGPT. Robert Draker's slick cinematography provides a pleasing, polished look, while Harrison's moody score further enhances the overall enigmatic tone. Man, this guy really likes this episode. Best of all, the surprise twist ending registers as a real doozy, with smarmy Cad Bitterman getting a fitting comeuppance for being such an arrogant jerk Lothario. Or maybe next time that you sleep with someone, like, look at their face or something. Is this Akhbar's daughter? Because it's not even like her sister is her twin. Her sister doesn't look like her, so it's not even like a twin situation where they both look the same and they did the old bait and switch. No, just look at her face. What is this guy doing? Worth a watch. Next up, we cover Attic Suite, and then we're done with Tales from the Darkside. We'll all do a top 10 of best and worst, and then we're done. We've already started Are You Afraid of the Dark, Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt coming up later this year, and I've started working on Firefly.